Game Kings, the definition of game, documentary, coming soon.
What's going on? It's your boy Miles Cunningham, out here again, getting it done. You feel me? Shout out to Lucario. Shout out to all the supporters. Shout out to everybody on the Bad Boy membership. Everybody on the Patreon, the Bad Boy Show, the Confidence Show. Everybody who copped the t-shirt. Everybody who was on the Expectations versus Reality seminar. Everybody who bought the Expectations versus Reality seminar. I really appreciate you guys. So I want to shout out my homeboys Cheos and Cubes. You know what I'm saying? They know what it is. Cause this video that I'm talking about, and the video yesterday that I did too about embellishment, it came about from a conversation I had with them. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to shout them out real quick. And today I wanted to add finesse game to the conversation. So you have embellishment and you have finesse. So embellishment is adding specific descriptive details to whatever it is you're talking about to make it more attractive. And finesse is dealing with things in a very smart and strategic way, like having a lot of tact and dealing with things very carefully to get the outcome that you want. Dealing with things very carefully to get the outcome that you want. So, for example, we talked about embellishment yesterday, right? Where instead of just saying, I'm wearing a hat, you say, I'm wearing a red baseball cap with, the Red Sox. You know what I'm saying? With the Red Sox on it. It's a red, I'm wearing a Red Sox baseball cap. So you're being more descriptive, you're being more visual, you're paying more attention to detail and bringing out those details in your dialogue, in your verbiage. You see what I'm saying? All the specific details, you want to bring that out in your verbiage. And you can also have exaggerations. You can also have exaggerations that are that makes things a little bit more attractive. Not necessarily a lie, but just have exaggerations. So if you're describing that same red hat, you can be like, that hat is, fire truck tomato red. You know what I'm saying? Fire truck tomato red. The reddest thing I ever saw. Blood red. It's blood red. It's redder than a freaking stoplight, man. It's just so red. It's like blood, right? And it's a blood red, fire truck red, Red Sox hat or whatever. And if I got the team wrong, if Red Sox ain't even red, hey, don't kill me. I'm not a baseball fan. So just want to put that out. Or maybe a Phillies hat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Phillies hat. But the point is, you're embellishing. You're adding more details to make it sound more interesting and more attractive, right? But then the finesse comes by being strategic with your situation. For example, like when I go out on dates, I get there beforehand. I get to the date like 10, maybe even 15 minutes before the time that I said to show up. And I choose the seats. You understand? I choose the seats and I put the chairs how I want them to be. So usually I'm on the same side of the table as she is. And my chair is close to hers. You see what I'm saying? Finesse is, shout out to Afi Kingdom. Shout out to Steve the Dean. Like there are a lot of elements of finesse that these guys talk about. Like, for example, Steve the Dean talks about when you see the girl, you grab her hand and you twirl her around and you tell her how nice her dress is. That's a finesse move. That's a finesse move. And then you also give her a big hug. And you hug her for just a little bit longer than any average hug. Like you don't want to just, hey, yo, what up? Just a quick hug. Nah, you want to hug her and then embrace her. You understand what I'm saying? You want to brace her. You want to like, bury your nose in her neck and smell her perfume and tell her how good she smells. All of this you want to do before you even let her go. Those are finesse moves. You're finessing the situation. You're being very thoughtful and careful of how you move, right? Like I said, I get to the date early and I set up the chairs so we're closer together. We're sitting on the same side of the booth, or we're sitting on the same side of the chair, or I situate the table that I tell the waiter the table that I want, so I have a visual of the doorway so I can see her when she walks in, so I can tell her body language, so I can be very thoughtful and methodical in how I'm setting up the date. These are finesse moves. You see what I'm saying? Like another finesse move is to like while you're sitting and talking and joking and laughing, you know, you might like tap her knee as you say something. As you say something funny, you'll tap her knee, right? But you might not pull your hand away quickly. You know, you'll let your hand linger just a little bit. Or you'll take her hand and talk about her talk about how she, you know, how she's like, because me personally, I meet a lot of nurses, and nurses don't really get their nails done like that, right? But what they'll do is they'll still have nice looking hands, but because they have to wash their hands so much and so on and so forth, they hardly get their nails done. So I'll tell them how much, you know, I appreciate the work they do as nurses, and, you know, they take care of people, and, you know, that's the trademarks of a strong woman who's very nurturing and in her feminine. Like, those are finesse moves, right? And that's also embellishments. Because I just met this chick. I don't really know nothing about her, but if she tell me she's a nurse, I can embellish what I know about nursing and be like, hey, you're very nurturing, you're very hardworking. You know, nursing is a tough job. I know a lot of nurses, and it's one of the thankless jobs, and I really appreciate what you do, and all. That's embellishment and finesse. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, I was on a date the other day, and I pulled a finesse move where, you know, I was getting kind of flirty with the chick, and I said to her, I said, tell me your favorite position, right? So she was and the whole time I was running the embellishment and the finesse. I was like, because she told me she a church girl. She loved to go to church every Sunday and so on and so forth. So I was like, you know, they always tell me that church girls are freaks and so on and so forth. And I kept planting those seeds during the conversation. So then later on, when I found, you know, I set up the situation where we left the bar, and then we went to a place where we were all alone. And then so I said to her, I brought up, you know, the sex again, and I was like, yo, tell me your favorite position. And she started to look embarrassed. She didn't want to say, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, it's okay. Tell me in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Whisper it in my ear. That's a finesse move. And she ultimately whispered it in my ear. And if you're wondering, her favorite position was doggy style. But anyway, that was a finesse move. You feel what I'm saying? Where she felt uncomfortable saying it out loud. So I said, you don't have to say it out loud. Whisper it in my ear. And that also brought me closer to her. So I have her talking about sex. I have her whispering in my ear, and I have her close to me. I have my arm around her as she whispers something sexual into my ear. You understand what I'm saying? That's finesse moves. That's finesse. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that, and the reason why I wanted to, you know, get on this again is just to reiterate to you that it's not always about just like being dry. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all know 2 + 2 is 4. We all know 2 + 2 is 4, but these chicks want to have an experience. And when they have a certain experience with you, they'll want to have more experiences with you. And those experiences will lead to spending more time together. And the more time you spend with a chick, a window will open up for sex. Now, it's up to you to decide how long that window is going to be, because we already told y'all, if you're not smashing by at least the second date and maybe the third, if you're not smashing by the second or third date, then hey, you gotta draw a line in the sand. You feel me? But if you practice on your embellishment and your finesse game and being strategic and focus on giving these chicks an experience. You understand what I'm saying? And let them understand that being with you is different from being with anybody else. It's different from being with their girlfriends or being with their family. That's what makes a chick. Those are some of the things that make a chick want to spend time with you regardless of what's going on. Like, y'all could just be at a park drinking. Like, this is why when a nigga like Lucario says, yo, sometimes I take a chick to the park and we just get a bottle of water. This is how a chick would be excited to go to a park and just drink a bottle of water with you. Because she knows that being with you, you're very humorous, you're very exciting, your mouthpiece is tight, and you're giving her an experience. It's not just, okay, we're walking in the park, dip, 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 dip. Like, it's you know, you're talking to her, you're asking her sexual questions, you're telling her to whisper it in your ear, you know, you're like, hey, let's go over to this shady area where the bench is, so we could be alone and have some romantic alone time, just you and me. And you're saying all these different things. You see what I'm saying? Like some dudes would be like, oh, your lips are so soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just say that. Say, yo, your lips are softer than a baby's ass. Like, You got the softer, your lips are softer than that cloud in the sky. You see those clouds behind me? I swear, your ass has more curves than the clouds in the sky, baby. Like, you want to embellish, you want to finesse, you want to give an experience. You can't be like every other dude. You got to figure out what's going on and like I said, like add to it, add more descriptive terms, you know, set things up, be thoughtful in what you're doing and set up the experience. And that's how you're going to increase your chances. All right. So, like I say, shout out to Cheos and Cubes. Y'all know what it is. And shout out to Afi, shout out to Steve the Dean, and everybody else who, you know, who may have said something about finesse game and about embellishment. You feel me? Because, you know, I'm not here to act like I'm just coming up with this shit off of my dome, but I want to reiterate it to you so you can hear it from Miles Cunningham as well, so you can understand that these are rules in the game that actually work, because there are multiple game kings and game experts in the market that are talking about it. All right. So again, shout out to everybody. We appreciate you guys for keeping the game, keeping the show flowing. No, keeping the show going so we can keep the game flowing. I'm gonna get that right one day. I'm gonna do it. All right. So it's your boy Miles Cunningham. Appreciate you guys. And as always, the truth is inside you. Peace.